Got purple Gus. Gus is purple. Now we're gonna rinse the purple. All right, so after a bath, I squeeze dry first. I'm not sure what kind of dryer you have. If you use a hair dryer, you have a pet dryer. Definitely saves time to squeeze it out, squeeze all the water out first, which I'm sure you know. Okay. Oh, there's a little more soap in the tail, so we're gonna go back in there. Okay, and squeeze the ears. It's also good to see if you've missed anything. If there's any suds at all. Okay. I have a chamois here that I use for the face. Kind of the same ones you would use on a car. You don't really have to. Next thing I do is I use the ear cleaner. If your dog is prone to ear infections, I wouldn't use this alone because it does have alcohol. Well, it's not purely alcohol, but it does have alcohol in it to kind of dry it out. And if your dog's ear is irritated, then it will hurt. The alcohol will hurt. So if you do use the antiseptic on the ears, it's good to use a different kind of rinse afterwards. And I find that the dogs that are prone to ear infections will keep them away if they do this.
Here I'm using a quick dry spray. It helps speed up dry time, and I will show you that at the end.
Alrighty. I'm gonna turn this on. So that was just the preliminary drying. So now I'm gonna move Gus over to the other side and do some more drying until he's fully dry. That's definitely necessary to have a good cut. And it's just good for clippers too, to expand the life of the clipper blades, to have your pet completely dry. Okay, we're gonna start drying some more. So one thing that I do, if you do use a force dryer or you decide you want to get one, which they are pretty great for checking the skin, you know, for ticks after camping, or, you know, if you feel bumps or something, it's just kind of a great way to look through and make sure everything's good. But once you get to the head, I always take this part off. I think it's a little too loud and a little too much for ears. So we just finish the head and the ears with this, and I feel like the dogs that I grew prefer it that way. This way, back this way. We're gonna do lots of back and forth. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is a 5 on the body. So I could do a 7, but because he's so pink, I just have a feeling he would just be bright pink. So we're gonna do a 5 on the body. I do have a wide comb blade. Got this on Amazon as well, and I love it. It's great. Okay, you fluffy lammy, you. We're just gonna take the body to a 5. Okay. Look at that. Wow. See, it's still a little wet right in there. All right, so I usually go straight back to the tail. This way. This way. And then when I get to the sides, I start to go down, kind of diagonal, this way. And I also go shorter on the tummy in the summertime, but not in the wintertime. Give them a little extra fur on their bellies. So I usually keep it the same length, or if anything, I will go backwards against the grain with the same blade. Now, something that I don't do is a 5 on the chest. I go around the chest and do slightly longer. Sometimes I'll use my scissors, sometimes I'll use an attachment blade, but I find it looks really nice because most dogs have cowlicks right on their chest.
So here the trick is just using a comb, back brushing, and continue to use the 5 blade.
So I'm going to try and use a different blade on the chest. I thought maybe 3 3/4 might work. Usually I pick something with a clipper attachment, but that's pretty long. And so since he's shorter, I'm going to try this. If it may still come out to be pretty cowlicky, you'll see. And if it does, it'll grow back. It's not the biggest thing, but typically the chest being just slightly longer helps the aesthetic. So next you can use a 10 blade on the hygiene areas, or I have this handy dandy clipper here that has adjustable head. So it goes from a 9 to a 40. And 40 is really, really short. That would be used maybe on the bottom of the feet if it's not too irritating. And then a 9 in the hygiene area. Alrighty. Okay. Next, I use a 40 on the feet, but Gus's feet look pretty good, so I don't think I have to do much, really. But what I typically do when I'm done with the body and the hygiene area is the bottoms of the feet. And 30s are also great. 40s can be sometimes a little too short, so I kind of try it out, see if it looks like it's getting irritated, and then if it is, I'll switch to a 30. Actually change that. And so I just lift up this way, and kind of, yeah, it looks pretty good. Maybe just get some of the surrounding hair. Yeah, it tickles, huh? It just tickles. Get a little underneath the nail, just right there. And if they need it, looks like you know how to do that, because you definitely do. Just a little scoop and a scoop. Alrighty, so this will help you comb always. A trick for the feet is to brush one way to the side and the other way to the side. Yeah. Oh, you don't like your feet touched. See, it's just a comb. That's it. And then I cut around. Pretty basic. Brushing up. Sometimes you can see the if the dog will permit it. Sometimes they really don't. You can get some of the mats stuck between the toes, but if they don't allow or they don't tolerate it well, it's not always that easy. All right, well, I'm going to take the legs down to a 3 3/4. As soon as I find what I did with it. Okay, there it is. It will be pretty short still, but slightly longer, which is always a little more aesthetic.
One thing I forgot to mention is after you use the clippers on the legs, you can use the scissors to blend the two lengths together.
Start in the head now. So what I usually do is take off the lead, and since we did the number 5 body, I kind of go up around the head with the number 5. Can you sit? Can you sit? Good boy. Oh, such a good boy. I loosen the lead, or sometimes I take it off, and then go back to the 5 blade. Clippers have been funky lately. So continue to go down with the 5 near the head. I take it up pretty high. I don't leave a ton on the back of the neck, but that's just personal preference. Okay. And then I blend it with scissors a little bit. And then what I do is I tend to go up, so against the grain when I get to the chin. So we're still kind of near the ears, I'll go down. Yeah, especially give them a little pathway from the ear and make it short so the airflow gets in there. And this one, good boy. Okay, and then I go against the grain on the neck, just to about the middle here. Just around the head. It kind of helps that when you round it out a little bit, it helps whatever look you're going for. The ear first. Looks like they're on the longer side, so I won't go too short. Okay, hopefully you can see better now. I'm just going to blend a little bit at the head and take it down. can also clipper the ears, depending on how you want it. At least the tops. You can keep the length.
We use thinning shears, small ones, for around the face, around the eyes. And I find that a lot of dogs prefer it over a clipper, but again, some dogs are used to the clipper and they don't mind it at all. But I don't use a clipper on the face myself. I like the scissor work. And I like to see the eyes slowly emerge. You can see again. But there you are. Hello. I also tend to get right above the eyelash if I can separate them. And around the side of the... So handsome. The curly eyelashes. Love it. Again, I try to hold the bottom of the chin as much as possible when I'm working on the face. Just so there's no jolts and no one gets cut. I like to pull away too with the thinning shears around the face, around the eyes. Okay, and then I get a bit of the cheek. Just a bit, not too much. We just get a lot of cheek. Okay. Use a comb, brush forward, and then we'll get the muzzle. I'm gonna brush it all up. And then I go around. And I try to not go up on the side because it turns out crooked. I need to find a better way. So if you know one, let me know. Alrighty, and then try to get some of the lip. Depends on how much that tongue comes out though. So what I do is I'm gonna brush it out and I hold the mouth shut so that tongue doesn't come out. Not too tight, but tight enough. Yeah. Kind of creates a nice little spot up around the lip. And then I kind of work my way up. Kind of lift. A little bit here. You can kind of make a happy dog face versus a frown. See, did I get it all? A little bit. You can also use a 10 blade right above the lip or right around the lip. Some dogs are comfortable with that too. And then just fluff and kind of go up a little bit. Yeah, oh, good boy. Definitely a licker. So I might use some of the thinning shears around his mouth just to get some of the brown off. We'll see if he tolerates it. You know, that's so weird. That's so weird feeling. What is that sound? Okay. And just do that again and try to be careful of that tongue popping out. Okay. Let's see here. And then yeah, I get that spot. I think you already got it. The spot where the lip holds food down here. So I'm just gonna get that. I usually cut that off. Looks like you got it though. Side, yep. Your mama got it. She knows. And I just kind of round it out a little bit.
All right, well, that's where my phone lost all filming capabilities. I did not have enough storage. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that it will help. And thanks for watching.